Welcome to the Kindergarten Toolbox Podcast. I'm your host, Amy Murray, here to help you simplify kindergarten with tools and strategies that actually work with real live 5 and 6-year-olds. Let's dive into your shortcut to calmer days and more confident writers. Picture this. It's your writing block. You just finished your mini lesson and you're ready to pass out the papers for individual writing practice. Before you even pass out all the papers, you hear someone saying, "I don't know what to write." Another kid's staring at a blank page. Someone else is asking for help spelling every single word. And somebody else is already finished. And you haven't even passed out all the papers yet. If writing feels like the most exhausting part of your day and just chaotic, this episode is for you. In today's episode, we're going to tackle one of the most common struggles in kindergarten writing, the moment you say, "Okay, it's time to get started," and a chorus of kids look at you with wide eyes and say, "I don't know what to write." You've heard this phrase more times than you can count. Trust me, you are not alone. It happens in every kindergarten classroom every single year. Here's the little-known truth about that "I don't know what to write about" excuse. You see, it used to drive me crazy as a teacher. We'd spend all this time modeling and telling them what to do, sending them back to their tables, and then they didn't know what to write? Like, how did they not know what to write? It wasn't that they didn't know what to write. It's that they were overwhelmed and couldn't do it on their own. They're not refusing, usually. They're not being totally stubborn. They're not lacking creativity. They didn't just not pay attention, usually. They're overwhelmed because writing is hard work in kindergarten. It requires so many skills at once. First, they have to keep that idea in their head. They need to sound out those words. They need to find letters to represent those sounds. They need to remember how to make those letters, get them on paper, space it out. It is a lot for a 5 or 6-year-old. So today I want to walk you through steps that will actually help your students to get started, even those kids who insist they don't know what to write about. Let's make writing feel easier, lighter, and actually doable for your kinders. The solution is always to give as much structure as you possibly can to set your writers up for success early and often, because confidence is the key to successful writing. To do this, you'll want to start with picture prompts along with a sentence starter. Let's talk about a picture prompt first. When you give students a picture or image to write about, it takes away the "I don't know what to write about" excuse. It's literally right in front of them. They can't argue with that. They see the picture. They have some ideas of what to write about. It gives every student a starting point. It supports their language development, and it builds their confidence immediately. When kids can see the idea, they can talk about it. When they can talk about it, they can write about it. Always start with a picture prompt. And for students who need even more support beyond just the picture, you can pair that picture with a simple sentence stem or sentence starter, something that goes along with the picture. For example, if you're learning about penguins and the picture shows a penguin diving in the water, your sentence starter can be "Penguins can," and then they need to write something like "dive," "swim in water," those simple things so they can finish the sentence. And then you can encourage them to expand and write a second sentence as well. Sentence starters are great because it takes down another barrier. It reduces that cognitive load. You're eliminating fear of staring at a blank page, and it gives students a clear path forward for their writing. It gives them a starting point. All they have to do is add a word or two to make a whole sentence. Instead of juggling everything all at once, they just have to finish the thought. And often this helps that writing click in their brains, and then they're ready to write another sentence independently. Using picture prompts and corresponding sentence starters was a total game changer for our writing block. I was so tired of hearing the "I don't know what to write" excuse. I had to come up with some kind of solution, and this was the perfect fit. We made writing journals. They could pull them out and open them and get started independently because the picture and the prompt were there. So The picture prompt and the sentence starter are great for your very beginning writers. But what about when they're ready to do that second sentence all on their own? Then what? Well, that's where the 5-star sentence writing checklist came in. We had visuals for every part of our conventions in our sentence, and they could check them off to make sure that they wrote a complete sentence. So instead of writing or scribbling some words on the paper and bringing it to me and saying, "What does this say?" They were actually writing to tell me something, and then they could check it off on their individual checklist. We had capital letters, spacing, punctuation, does your sentence make sense, and spelling on there for them to check all by themselves, and they can independently write that sentence. This sounds like an idea for a whole another podcast over what should be part of your 5-star checklist, but that 5-star checklist with the visuals was at the top of every writing paper that we did, whether there was a picture prompt or not. That way, students could get familiar with what goes into writing our 5-star sentences, even if they weren't fully independently writing them just yet. When you combine picture writing prompts, sentence starters, and a clear sentence writing checklist, 3 powerful things happen in your writing block. Suddenly, students know what to write, they know how to start writing, and they know that they can write a sentence. And when those things are clear, writing becomes calmer, students stay engaged longer, and that dreaded "I don't know what to write about" excuse disappears. And let me tell you, that was a big deal, at least in my classroom. And remember, kindergarten students thrive on predictability, so you want to make sure that you are using the same writing routines over and over again. So no matter if you choose to use these picture prompts in your writing block as their independent practice, in your writing journal as a daily writing opportunity, or maybe even in your writing center, if you use them consistently, your students begin to understand the routine and expectations, and they will start to thrive. It really is amazing what you can do when you set them up for success and they suddenly feel like confident, capable writers. If you are listening along thinking, okay, this makes sense, but I don't have time to create all of this from scratch, that's exactly why I created the Kindergarten Writing Toolbox. Inside the toolbox, you'll find ready-to-use picture writing prompts for all kinds of themes, along with sentence starters and our 5-star sentence writing checklists and posters you can use in your classroom, all designed specifically for kindergartners and beginning writers. Everything's developmentally appropriate, highly visual, and easy to implement, so you can take the guesswork out of writing time and stop spending hours prepping. So be sure to join us inside the Kindergarten Writing Toolbox. It's designed to take the stress out of writing time and help your students feel successful faster. I'll be sure to link it in the show notes. And remember, when kids say, "I don't know what to write," and they shut down, what they're really saying is, "I'm overwhelmed and I need help getting started." With the right structure, the right prompts, and the right tools in place, you absolutely can create confident, capable writers in your kindergarten classroom. Thanks for listening to the Kindergarten Toolbox. I'm Amy Murray, and I'm so glad you're here. Be sure to check the show notes for all the links and resources from today's episode. For even more tips, tools, and support, head to teachingexceptionalkinders.com or connect with me on Instagram at teachingexceptionalkinders. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow along and subscribe to the show and take a minute to leave a review. It helps other kindergarten teachers to find us too. Teaching kindergarten is tough, but you're not alone. Here's to calmer days and more confident writers. You've got this.